Well, it's been about a year now since the cruise industry stopped cruising, sidelining those trips pretty much ever since.
Right now, plans are in place to set sail again. And as a friend of the show, Danielle Serino, tells us, pent-up vacation demand could be just what the doctor ordered for this ailing industry.
The first major coronavirus outbreak happened last February on board the Diamond Princess in Japan. 700 people were infected and 9 ultimately died, as passengers were left stranded on board for weeks on end. A year later, most cruises are still docked, while many of their crews waited out at sea. Captain Kate McHugh has been on board this Celebrity Edge ship for a total of 320 days off the coast of the Bahamas.
A lot of times I get the question, how come you don't just dock the ship and everybody go home? And the reason why is because if you rest, you rest. So we're all here maintaining the ship. We went from a crew of 1,320. Currently, we're 107 on board.
The job losses have added up. More than 50% of U.S. jobs tied to the cruise industry have been lost. Despite the suspension, loyal cruise travelers are eager to get back on board. Review site Cruise Critic saw a more than 55% increase in cruise shoppers in the first 2 months of 2021.
What you're seeing is enthusiasm about the pace of the vaccine coming out.
But the $150 billion industry is making changes. COVID testing on board, required temperature checks, the beloved buffet no longer self-serve, and sailings will be much shorter, at least in the beginning.
A lot of them have their own islands in the Bahamas, which are essentially a bubble where they can control the vaccinations, they can control the testing, and naturally we're going to need Mexico.
Danielle Serino, 3 News.
Now, the vaccines could be what ultimately get the cruise lines back to sea. Norwegian Cruise and Royal Caribbean are now requiring all crew to be vaccinated, but the industry is still deciding whether they'll do the same with passengers, something to keep an eye on in the months coming up ahead.